y'all, welcome back to my channel. It's Idalis and I'm back with another video. Okay, so I've been missing in action. It's probably been over a month since I last recorded a video, but as of today I'm back and I'm a little bit better and I'm ready for action. Okay, so today's video is going to be a chit chat, get ready with me. And I'm just going to be talking about what I've been going through, a little life update, why I ain't filmed the video, just all of the above. So, with no further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, so, might as well go ahead and get started talking about what's been going on. So, I know that I've mentioned in several of my videos that I'm a recent college grad, but I never really went into any real detail about like where I am currently, all of this and all of that. So I finished school in May, but I ended up taking a summer class because I failed the class, and that was my first time ever failing a class in college. So, well, my first time ever failing a class, period. So what happened was I walked at graduation in May, but I didn't officially graduate until July. And so I knew that I was going to be moving to the Metro Atlanta area after graduation because I'm from a small town, so you know, it was really going to be hard for me to find a job. So I decided to move up here with my boyfriend to his mama's house. Just until, you know, we were able to find a job, get on our feet, you know, all of this and all of that. So we came up here like around the middle of May. But I started applying to jobs in like April. But I had already been looking at jobs, but I really got my job search on the move in April. Because, you know, I was one of those people that was like, I don't want to graduate without having a full-time job. But a little did I know that it was going to be much easier said than done. So, I started applying to jobs in April, and I didn't hear anything back by the time May rolled around and it was time for me to move up here. So, you know, I was just like, okay, maybe it's because the places I'm applying to, it's because I don't have my degree. And at the time, I wasn't, so my degree is in healthcare administration. And at the time, I was like, I don't really care. I don't really know if I want to do something in the healthcare field. So I was just applying to you know, jobs that required a business degree because my degree, it is a business degree. But, you know, by the time I came up here and the more I was applying to jobs, I was like, okay, I think I felt like the Lord was telling me it was meant for me to have a job in the healthcare field. So I started really focusing on applying to hospitals and all of this and all of that. I wasn't hearing anything back. And then I was like, okay, so maybe that's just because I don't have my degree. So I wasn't tripping too much because, you know, I was just out here. I was still taking a class, so I wasn't too worried about being unemployed because I was really focusing on the class that I was in. The classes that I was in, because I had to take 2 classes in order to be able to get financial aid. So I was just really worried about those classes. So July came, still hadn't heard anything back from the job. But I finished my class and I got my degree. So I was steadily applying to jobs and I wasn't hearing anything back. But I was just like, whatever. So I was like, I got my degree. So now when I'm doing these job applications, I can click yes that I done got my degree and all of this and all of that. And so I was like, okay, it's gonna take some time for the jobs to start contacting me back, because I mean, just because I applied today don't mean they're gonna email me or call me tomorrow or even next week. So I got my degree in the end of July, and I was okay with waiting a little bit longer to find a job. But a little bit longer turned into 2 months later. And so I don't think I got my first interview. I don't even remember when I got my first interview, but I feel like it was probably like late September, and it was at a nursing home. It was like for a revenue cycle. So like basically, not revenue cycle. Ugh. I hope I don't get any makeup on this white shirts. It was for accounts receivable. It was a bookkeeper position. And so I went to the interview, and I was super excited when I got the call. I got the call on like a Friday. My interview was like, I don't know, the next Tuesday or something. So my interview was like the next Tuesday. I went to the interview. I don't think it went too bad, but like my main concern with getting an interview was the position gonna be an entry level position, because I mean I don't have much experience. Because now it's like, it used to be, oh, you got a degree, you can get this job easily, but now it's like, oh, you gonna need some experience. Your degree just ain't gonna be the guarantee. And the people at the interview, they were like, the job could be an entry level position because they train you on everything. And so I was just like, okay. So I mean, I wasn't feeling the most confident about the interview afterwards, but I was. Of course, I didn't hear anything. Well, not of course, but I didn't hear anything back from them. But I wasn't too upset, because I had kind of a feeling that I wasn't going to get it just by the way they were acting and the way their culture was in the place. So I steadily applied. I was steadily applying to jobs. Like, applying to jobs takes up my life. And steadily applying to jobs, steadily like hoping somebody gonna call me. And I finally did get an interview. And this interview, I won't say the place, but it was a hospital. It's probably, I know it's at least, I don't know if it's the biggest hospital, but it is one of the biggest hospitals in Atlanta. And I was lit, because I was like, if I get this job at this place, then I'm good. Because, you know, bigger organizations, it's like much easier to move up to another position than a smaller organization. Like, I was like, I'm good once I get this job. So I don't really know much about driving in Atlanta, because I really hate the highway, because I'm not used to that. But the day before my interview, me and my boyfriend, we drove out to the city to where my job interview was gonna be, just so that the next morning when I'm driving there, I won't like have too much trouble getting there, just to make me a little more familiar with the area. So we did that, and it was like, I hated it. And I had like broke down while I was driving. Not like broke down in the car, but I had started crying and hyperventilating. I feel like I was just gonna have a panic attack, because it was just a lot going on. So we made it back home that night, and I was just like, I ain't going to this interview tomorrow. Because I just, since my outlook on the place and getting there was so wrong, like was so bad, I didn't want to go no more. And then my boyfriend, he was like, you need to go to this interview and all this and all of that. But I wasn't trying to hear that. I did not want to go there. And then he was like, will it be easier for you if I go with you to the interview? And then I was like, I was going through it. And then, so I finally came to the decision that if he go with me, then I go to the interview. Because he was like, I was giving up on myself, and he didn't want to see me give up on myself. So I was like, okay, whatever, I'll go to the interview if you go with me. So we ended up he ended up going with me to the interview. And, well, not going with me, but, you know, driving me there. And I interviewed, it was a group interview, so I interviewed in a group of 3 other people, but it wasn't even that bad because all of us were women, and, you know, it was just a real relaxed environment. So, personally, I felt like that was my job. Like, I felt like I was going to get that job. I felt like I did wonderful, like, interview. I felt like, why wouldn't they give me this job? They didn't give me the job. So, at the end of the interview, the lady was like, we'll hear back within 1 to 2 weeks on a decision if we was going to get the job. And then, at the time, I felt real confident, like, this is my job, why wouldn't they give it to me? Because I know I did good at the interview. But 1 week went by, because I felt like they was going to call me within like a couple of days. But 1 week went by, I didn't get the call. And then the second week came and I didn't get the call. So that like really crushed my spirits, because it was like I felt like I did so good at this job interview and I was so confident. So why they not giving me the job? So after that, I like felt I felt kind of depressed, but it wasn't really bad, because I was like, because people around me were just like, you never know, stop saying that you don't have it. But I'm just like, I know I don't have it, because I mean, they said that they was going to talk to me, call me back in this amount of time, and I ain't heard nothing from them. So anyways, so I was depressed, but it wasn't terrible. Like, I won't say I was depressed, I was sad. And this whole time I had been dealing with anxiety. Like, the anxiety probably kicked in probably like a month or so at the end of August. The anxiety kicked in probably like around the end of August, because I was just like, all I could think about was, I don't have a job. Why aren't places contacting me? Like, I have a degree. Did my degree go to waste? But when I got that interview at that big place, at the big hospital, I was like, okay, well, maybe something gonna come through. And then when it didn't, it kind of made me sad and depressed. So I did end up getting another interview at the place, but it was just like, I really didn't want to go then. And I didn't want to go because I'm like, because this place is probably like 40 minutes from where we stay. And I'm like, why should I have to drive all of this way for an interview and I'm not even like guaranteed a job? Like, it was just making me mad, because I'm like, this is a waste. Why are they wasting my time? Especially if I'm not gonna get this job. So I went to the interview. Again, my boyfriend went with me. And so I went to the interview and I didn't get the job. So then, like, and the thing that made me mad about that interview, it was like, the man seen my resume and he knew that I was underqualified, but he still called me in for an interview anyway. And I'm just like, this is just a big waste of my time. And so that really did, like, it really upset me, because I was like, I came all the way out here for nothing, and he knew I was underqualified. And I still don't understand why he called me, but he did end up giving me advice, telling me that it was good that I had even been getting interviews and all of this and all of that. But I wasn't really trying to hear that, sir. I just wanted a job, and you supposed to be interviewing me for a job, not giving me life lessons. Long story short, I've been suffering with post-grad anxiety and depression. I've been dealing with anxiety for months. Like, the reason why I started doing YouTube was because I was dealing with anxiety. Like, after I graduated and I was done with my class, it was like, since I don't have a job, I don't know what to do. And all I could think about was everything that was going wrong in my life. Because I've been going to school. I went straight from high school to college. So all I've known is school for these years. and all I've had to do was school. But here I was, not in school, and I just didn't know what to do. So to help me out with my anxiety, I started YouTube. And the reason why I took this long break was because I was depressed, and I was like, I can't fake these videos. I didn't even like have the motivation to get up and film a video because I was so depressed. Like, I was crying all day. I would stay in bed. I would sleep. Like, I've always been a nap taker, but on my, like, dealing with depression, like, I was sleeping for like I was taking 4 hours nap after like sleeping for like 8 hours at night. Like, I wasn't understanding why I was so sleepy. I didn't think that my sleeping was related to my depression. I honestly didn't know why I was so sleepy till I saw a girl on Twitter talking about she had been going through post-grad depression and that she had irregular sleep schedule. So I was like, okay, that makes sense, because I had to schedule me an appointment to go to the doctor dealing with all of this anxiety. I had got depressed, and the only people I had really told about it was my boyfriend and my best friend. And my boyfriend, Bliss's, he tries to help me so much, but I mean, he ain't never been through depression, and especially not post-grad depression, because I mean, he got a job, so he ain't like necessarily experienced what I've been experiencing. And so he didn't really understand, but you know, he tried to do the best he could. And he tried to do the best he could to help me out or whatever. But I mean, it's just something that I was going through. It's so easy for people to tell you to do this and do that when you're depressed, and to tell you that, oh, things gonna get better, pray about it, and this is a time for you to be patient, and just telling, you know, all kinds of stuff. But I feel like until you actually go through what I'm going through, then, I mean, you can only tell me so much and it's gonna help. So I really like dealt with a lot of the things. I really dealt with like a lot of the things I was going through alone, because I mean, nobody could really relate. And it was like everything that was telling me I knew, but I couldn't stop myself from being depressed. It wasn't like, oh, you know this and you know that, so just get better. It wasn't that easy. So I'm much better this month than I was last month, because October, it was a really hard month for me. But I'm trying to get back on track, and I've been wanting to make this video for a while, but I never felt like it was the time. Like, I felt like, how you gonna help somebody when you can't even help yourself? But I don't know. It is what it is. I'm learning how to cope. Like, this month of November, it's been fairly good. Although I haven't got an interview, I haven't heard back from a job. Well, I do hear back from jobs telling me that I didn't get the job. But even though my job search, like, there hasn't been much change in it, I have started just applying to other places, because although I felt like it was a sign, like the Lord was telling me that it was meant for me to work in healthcare, like, I don't really know if it was a sign. I was just saying that, like, sometimes I just be wishing that he would come out of heaven and sit right down beside me and tell me that I need to do this, this, and this. And it would, like, if he was to do that, it would really help me. But, you know, I've been continuing to pray like I have. And I just hope that something is going to come through for me eventually. Well, sooner than later. Because Salem Bay going to be knocking before I know it. And I also have been looking into grad school, because at the second interview that I had at that hospital, the man that was giving me the advice, he told me that I should consider going back to school, because even if I do get a job, it may come a chance to where I can move up. But in order to move up, I may need my master's degree. But if I do go back to grad school, I'm pretty sure that I'm just gonna do an MBA, just get my master's of business administration rather than healthcare administration, because that's another reason why I feel like I haven't gotten a job, because when people see healthcare administration on my resume, they like, what you gonna do for us here?
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's
On a brighter note, Thanksgiving is next week, and I'm going home. I'm definitely excited to go back to my little small town home. I haven't been home since May, and I definitely miss my family. And of course, they miss me as well.
we'll go. Through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll finding life along the way, melodies we haven't played. No, I don't want no rest. Echoing around these walls, fighting to create a song. I don't wanna miss a beat. And on we'll go. Through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go. Through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. And we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands. And we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands. And on we'll go. Through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go. Through the wastelands.
Okay, so here we are at the end of the video. My look is complete. I hope that this video just gave you a little more insight about what I've been going through, and I hope you enjoyed me doing my makeup, even though it was all over the place. I hope you got the overall gist of it. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel and turn your post notifications on so that you'll be notified every time I post a video. Thank y'all for watching. See y'all in my next video.